Hi, I'm Colin and welcome to How to Paint Watercolours. So if you're ready, we'll get started and we'll paint this one. Hi everyone and welcome back to How to Paint Watercolours with me, Colin. I thought we'd do this one a little different today. Something I've not done. We'll do a two-stage sky. I've pre-stretched the paper and I'm just drying it off the top half with a rolled up kitchen roll, and we want to put some mountains in here with some misty trees, and hopefully we will be pulling some of the sky down over the mountain, which will go in the second half of the sky. This is a mixture of cobalt blue, light red and French ultramarine, and it's quite a weak mixture, and we're just going to arrange this into the mountain, and when we glaze over it with a lighter colour, this should still poke through. Remember to pull your rocks and crags in the shape and the direction that you want them to go in, not random strokes. These strokes are quite deliberate, bringing them over into an arch as the mountain falls away. Just create some hit and miss effects as the brush runs out of paint. Get a few bigger rocks in here, just soften a few of the harsh edges off. Still indicating which direction these rocks and crags are coming in. Bringing the same mixture to this one, which is cobalt blue, light red and French ultramarine. And I do have a slightly stronger version, which I'm just going to use just so it emphasises just a little bit more separation. I want to soften this edge off. Soften some of these off as well. Same mixture, move on to this mountain. Still bringing the brush strokes in the direction that you want the rocks to form. Once again with a stronger version of the same colour, French ultramarine, light red and cobalt blue. Just want to darken up this part here. Just dragging the brush down, as you can see now, with very little paint on it, and the tooth of the paper is taking the paint off what it needs. Scrumbling a little bit, just a little bit more strength along here. Okay, I think that's enough, and then we'll leave this to completely dry. Welcome back. Now that your mountains are dry, I'm just re-wetting just the sky area up to where the mountains are, and we will be putting another layer over the top of this once it's dry. This is cobalt blue, French ultramarine, with just a touch of crimson. Just check the colour. And I want this to be quite weak. So I'm just rinsing my brush with some extra water. I'm just paling this considerably. I'm just creating some movement in the sky. This is cobalt blue, light red, French ultramarine with a touch of crimson. And I just want to bring some interest around here. Just dropping one or two spots in. Don't want to do more to that, to be honest, and you're going to hate me because once again we have to leave this to dry. Okay, now that your sky is dry, we're actually going to re-wet it, and the reason why I'm going to re-wet it is so that I can drop some misty bluey grey colour onto the sky, but also bring it over the mountains, allowing the peak of this one to stand out but bringing mist down here. And with the stronger colour of the French ultramarine, cobalt blue and light red here, which is stronger, this will help it to stand out from underneath the glaze that we're going to put on it. We're not going to come all the way down the page, we're just going to come up to this ridge line here with water. So, bravery test. This is a 1.5 inch flat brush, fully loaded with water. You begin to come down the page. I have clipped it down just to make sure that it doesn't curl up at the edges. Bring it all the way down over the mountains. And with letting it dry, it enables the other colours that you've put on to penetrate the paper so that we can lie another colour on top of it. Just need to check that we've got covered it everywhere. I think that's the odd streak. With the mixture of the cobalt blue, light red and French ultramarine, what I actually done is really watered it down and then just added some burnt umber to it to make it into a grey, and we're just going to test that for colour. Yeah, I kind of like that. We'll see how we go. Bring it over the back here, adding a little more just to deepen it as we want to cover the back end of this mountain, but leaving this prominent. Same here. To just allow those cracks to show through. Just to help balance it out, I'm just going to add some of that colour up here into this corner. Very light touch. I'm hardly touching the paper. Let's bring some out here, I think. Don't be afraid to put plenty of this on, because as you already know, this will fade an awful lot lighter. Just creating a bit of cloud around here, darker. This, if you add the variation, if you vary the strength of it, you'll end up with a much better painting. I'm just leaning back to have a look. I'm quite happy with that. Okay, I'm going to hate me again because once again we have to leave this to dry off a little bit, and then we'll put some wetting to wet evergreens into this. So we're going to leave this for about 5-10 minutes. Now that that's dry, I'm just going to come back to the trees, and I'm just going to run some yellow ochre up the trunk of this one. Paint these crags in with some yellow ochre as well. This is some yellow ochre and burnt umber, and I just want to drop some of this in, just while everything is still wet. Burnt umber and French ultramarine. Just adding some burnt umber into this sky mixture here, just to make a nice dark colour. Just adding this in as well. Just to bring some contrast in. I'm just going to run it up the back side of this tree. Back side of this tree, allowing it to creep round. This one as well. And now with my number 4 rigger, branches on the tops of these. As it's winter, there is very little foliage on them. Probably no foliage on them at all. Well, not on this one. And it's just being bent that way because maybe the wind over time forced it to grow on a sideward slant. We'll move on to the evergreens now. This is a mixture of Iridian plus French ultramarine and burnt umber to make a really dark, rich green. Number 4 rigger once again. I'm just going to pat these in and just build the tree up nice and slow. Getting wider as we come down towards the base, and then I just want to bring it back in again. Just add a few branches along the bottom. Move to the bigger one. And we can start to begin to do the same with this. And I'm just going to do, excuse me, and I'm just going to do exactly the same as I did with the other one. But I think you get the general idea of just building your trees up. You see how easy they are to do. Okay, welcome back. Hopefully you've got your trees looking something like that, and I'm just going to take a little bit of this yellow ochre and I'm just going to drop this in some places as the paint is still wet, and this will give just a little slight variation in the colour just to break it up. Then with a big brush or any brush of your choice, I'm just going to re-wet this land area here, and I'm not taking it all the way up to the edge. I'm leaving a little gap, but I am going to touch the fir trees here because I want some of this to bleed, some of the tree trunk, just to bleed into the water, and this will help attach it to the ground. This is cobalt blue with a touch of French ultramarine and a tiny speck of light red. Shadows underneath here. Leaving some white patches. So I'm just adding in a little bit of snow shadow this to be a little darker in here, just a little darker in these corners, just to help bring the eye in. Remember, it will dry lighter on the violet side. Cobalt blue, light red French ultramarine with a touch of crimson. This should just help to unify the painting. I just want to take some of this dark, which has run up the tree trunks, and this will add some shadow under these trees. If you just allow it to touch it, and just allow a little spread. I do want this to separate a little bit down here, a bit darker. Soften it in, and now we're going to leave all this to dry. Okay, now everything's virtually nice and dry. I just want to add a little bit of snow to these fir trees, evergreens. So I'm just using a tiny bit of whitewash. Don't overdo it with this. Maybe just a tiny bit of this tree trunk on the dark. And I just want to add a couple of shadows in here where the trees are. A little bit on this one. Just scuffing it out a bit. A little bit for this one. A little bit too much paint that. Taking my rigger brush and some of this yellow ochre. I just want to put some little blades of grass poking through here. Then with the same very dark green that we used for the trees, which is iridian, French ultramarine and burnt umber. I'll bring a few in of these as well. And now you get round to the best bit, and this is where you get to sign it. 3 birds. Maybe one coming this way for a change. If you've enjoyed this video, please click the like button and subscribe. Subscription costs you nothing. And if you would like to see other videos that I have made for YouTube, I will leave a link in the description box and it will take you straight to them. So once again, thank you very much for watching.